Grand Rising, brothers and sisters. This is War Smith coming at you live with the Black News Network. Want to welcome you to another episode of dealing with this crisis we have here in America. Seems like it never wants to get any better. We just have to keep it moving and have to keep trying to get better with what's happening here. Every time we turn around, there's something going on. We have to fight to survive in America. It is a war of being alive and being black in America. That is what we're dealing with here. I want to say grand risings to all my brothers and sisters. This is from the desk of the Emissary. I want to welcome you to the Black News Network, the real voice of Black City, United States of America. We're broadcasting about our business and a black perspective. I do not own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. So welcome again. Let's get some logistics out the way. Don't forget that I broadcast on YouTube every single week, on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. I would love for you to leave a comment or to tell me about a topic that you're interested in so we can discuss it. I'm also on Facebook Live. So if you're on Facebook, if you have a Facebook account, look me up, War Smith Bay or the Black News Network, and leave me a comment, send me a like request or a friend request. I would again love to see your face and your comments on Facebook. I say thank you for being here at the Black News Network. We're in a war in America, and it's a war to remain American. How is it that we have to fight just to stay a part of this society and this infrastructure that builds around us all the time? This is America. We are fighting to survive as individuals. We're fighting to survive as black males. We're fighting to survive as black females. And we're fighting to survive as black corporate American workers. We're fighting to survive on every level here in this country. Let's go to right now what's very, very important to us and what we see panning out in Memphis, Tennessee. We see where five black officers decide to beat the shit out of a black man and kill him. And that's exactly what they did. You know, it is so sickening that this was taking place in one of our cities in America, and a predominantly black city at that. Black officers, not only is that boy's family in bad shape because of what they had to endure and what they had to see on national television about their son being beaten to death by the Protect and Serve force. And that's what they are. They are there to protect and serve. But in many, many cases of a black male's death, they're not there for that reason. We see something different this time around. We see that there are black men doing the killing. And that's not to say that this is the only time that black men have been involved in the killing of a black man. Let's just say that this is the time where the majority of the black men are involved in the killing of a black man. Now, who's to say nobody, not one of those individuals took the initiative to say, man, hold up, don't do that, man. This is not how we treat our fellow brother. This is to show that there is a clique going on in America that we know nothing about and that we refuse to accept as fact and as positive stuff that they are not doing. They're doing things in America, in the police forces, that we have no clue what they're doing. There are 18,000 plus police departments in America. 18,000 police departments. Now here it is, Joe Biden, going in 2 years he hadn't said a damn thing about the George Floyd Act, but yesterday he had the audacity to want to mention it. We want to say that we got 5 black men indicted, we got them fired, we got them indicted, and we got them brought up on particular charges in a matter of weeks. But yet, when we get a white boy that kill a black man, the first thing that they want to tell you is that we're under investigation. What the fuck is a goddamn investigation? Excuse my language. I don't mean to get belligerent. And, you know, this is what these white folks have boiled it down to when it's dealing with us, is that they can tell the whole society, the whole community, that anytime a white man violates a black person's civil rights, that it's under investigation. I mean, how long does it take to investigate something you got on black on tape, in color? It don't take forever to do this. It takes a matter of hours to figure out if this guy did it or he didn't do it. But now it comes to the district attorney's office. These district attorneys are put there by election. We elect those people in the office. And if they don't bring charges, when it's time for them to bring charges, then we need to get them the hell up out of there. We need to run them up out of office and put somebody in there that's going to do our work. But on the same note, how are we going to put somebody in office when we don't vote? You know, if we could just sit and look at all the issues that stop us from being American, or stop us from participating in this United States of America, you'd be surprised. And all we have to do is take an active action to get involved. We don't have to continue to sit back and say, well, I can't change the district attorney. Yeah, you know, that's his opinion. He has a right to an opinion, and that's what he want to do. We can't do nothing about it. No, the hell you can't do nothing about it, because you don't want a damn vote. If you get off your ass and get registered to vote, then maybe we can make some shit change around here. Why do we have to fight every damn election to get somebody to register to vote? If you know you're not registered to vote, take your ass over there and get registered. How goddamn simple is that? We want to make a change here in America? Vote. That's the only way you're going to do it right now. It may be different a year from now, a month from now, or 10 years from now. But right now, if you want to make a difference here, vote. Black people need to vote. That is my one and only problem right now, is seeing that we are so apathetic about voting. We are so into ourselves. We're so beyond the race, the whole people, and the status of the whole people, that it doesn't bother us. When we see a brother in Memphis, Tennessee get beat down and killed by the police, oh, it ain't happening here in San Antonio. But that's some bullshit too. We got the jump out boys right here in San Antonio, the same damn type of scorpion unit they got up there in Memphis, that all they do is run down people and harass the hell out of them and dare them to say no. You say no to a police officer, that's like slapping or spitting in their mama's face, because they want to take you out from that point on. Look at what they did. Even the officer said it when they pulled him over on the highway. We hope we catch him, we can beat the shit out of him. They said it, and they did it. They killed him. They killed him. And we yet don't protest. But why are we not protesting this time? Is because all 5 of them are black? Is that the reason we're not protesting? doing little cool protests here and there. Say, yeah, man, the police did this. We doing our little cool shit. But yet with a white boy, which one was part of that, one white man tased that boy. But yet he didn't get fired. He probably suspended. I don't know the whole story, but I do know one white boy tased that black kid that died. But he didn't get fired. He's glad to see them 5 black police officers beat up on another black man. So all he had to do was stand back. That's what they're doing. Stand back and standing by, like Donald Trump tells them all the time. And for anybody dumb enough to want to vote for that fucking imbecile, I done dropped the F-bomb twice today. Dang, shit is out of control. And then there's a little thing that happened in Austin County where this black woman found $50 on the floor in a Dollar General or some type of store. And the white clerks jumped on the woman and the white dude had the audacity to choke the woman from behind in a headlock over $50 that she found on the floor. And they were trying to force her to give them that $50. Ain't that a damn shame? When America wants to fight over pennies and scraps and hurt somebody that's a cancer patient. She was a cancer patient. She had no hair on her head. And she was diabetic. And the police didn't arrest the damn clerks, the people that worked at the store, for beating up this black woman. And then the white police captain, or whomever this sucker was, had the audacity to say, we're on the investigation. How much investigation do you need to do? That's a goddamn lie. It ain't a lie, it's a goddamn lie. Because all they want to do is beat black people back into submission. Black into the closet, to where they want you to be. And did you know that 10% or more of our police budget come from the money they get from harassment of black people? I mean, they do hundreds of thousands of traffic stops on black people for no reason. They can do what they call I ain't even got to my notes. I'm gonna tell you what they call it. But they want to do they call it a pretext traffic stop. A pretext traffic stop is when the police want to make contact with you just because you're driving a nice car. They don't have to have a reason, and most states authorize a pretext traffic stop. And that traffic stop can be just because they saw your window was down, or they saw the bumper rattling, or the you playing loud music, or your headlight was flickering or something, or they thought you didn't have a tag on the front of your car. They can stop you because pretext traffic stops are legal in the state of Texas. And then now, once they stop you, they come up and say, well, do you know why I pulled you over? You're going to say no. And then they're going to say, well, do you have any weapons in the car? Then you're going to say no. Then they're going to say, well, do you mind if I search your car? Then you're going to say no again. And then they're going to say, well, you must be hiding something. Because why is it you don't want me to search your car? Because you ain't got no damn reason to be in my car. You really didn't have a reason to pull me over, but you did. So now you got to prove to the world that you have a reason for this traffic stop. And that's what they did with that boy. They did a pretext traffic stop for no reason, and he didn't stop. And when he finally stopped, these fat ass officers were mad, and they ended up getting him out, snatching him out the car. Bitch, I'll break your arm. I'll tase you. They called the boy bitch. They called him out of his name, motherfucker, and everything else. They called him a lot of different names, and they pulled him out of the car, and then he got away, and then they tased him while he ran away, and then they said, well, we hope we kill him. We hope we beat the shit out of him. You know, Ukraine is now getting the Abraham tanks from America. Now, you think that America is just going to send them damn tanks over there without sending troops with those tanks? Don't be stupid, because you know as well as I know that America is about to get engaged in this war with Ukraine against Russia, because there's no way you can send those tanks over there without sending people over there to show somebody how to operate those tanks. And if you got to learn how to operate those tanks, that means you are about to become part of that war. That's what it means. That's what it means. If you're going to go send tanks to Ukraine, you're going to send F-16s or whatever else over there, that means you got a reason to send soldiers over there to get involved with what those soldiers, on how they need to be trained on how to operate those tanks. Because you can't just go and send a tank and don't send the technology with it. And the technology is in the hands of the American soldiers. Now, Russia is sending over the Leopard tanks, and Germany is sending over the Leopard tanks, and you already know that they have to send somebody over there to operate that ragged ass shit. Them old ass tanks. This has been one of the worst months in history for shootings. There have been over 35 shootings, mass shootings, in the United States alone. 35 in the United States alone. In California, there was a Chinese man who killed 10 people at a Lunar New Year party. And you kind of wonder what creates the environment to make somebody want to take a gun and go out and shoot somebody. Just randomly shoot people. What created an environment that want this to happen? And you notice that black people ain't been on the headlines lately, because the only one, just a fella out of Memphis that got killed. You know, there's been a school shooting in Des Moines, Iowa. There's been seven people shot in Half Moon Bay, California. Atlanta PD killed a 13-year-old boy. All this has happened in January. So people are rioting in Atlanta. This man was 72 years old who killed those 10 people at the Lunar party. It's in the Asian community. George Santos still telling lies. Him being his gay boyfriend out of Brazil told a story about how he changed and how he started being who he is. Pena, the former New Mexican GOP candidate, he shoots up a Democrat opponent's home, and he had an affiliation. Pena is a guy who got out of jail and ran for Senate, or ran for the House of Representatives, and lost against the Democrat and got mad. So he hired another one of his henchmen to go over and shoot up the house. Then they just released the footage on Nancy Pelosi's husband attack. And did you see that man standing there with that hammer in his hand? There are two justice systems here in America. One for white people and one for black people. And we can only say that let the truth be told. And if you're not ashamed of who you are and where you are, and if you're not afraid of what your consequences are of you opening your mouth, then you might want to say something. If you're sitting back and not saying a damn thing about all this bullshit happening here in America, you're an idiot, because you're a punk ass man that don't defend your country, don't defend your nationality, Don't defend your race. Don't defend who you are in America, because the violation is against you. Not the fella in Memphis, not the young man killed in Memphis, not George Floyd. It's against you. You, the one who's sitting on your ass not watching football, not saying shit about what's happening here in America. That's who the violation is against. It's against you. If he's killed in Memphis, it affects you here in San Antonio. It affects you in Houston. It affects you in North Carolina. It affects you in California. Anytime a black person is discriminated against, or there's civil rights violations against them, then it affects you and your civil rights as well. But you don't want to admit the fact that you have to fight in this war against you being an American. Let the truth be told. Grow some balls. Be who you are. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Let the chips fall where they may. Oh, but you got to keep your job. You got to feed your family. And I respect that and I understand that. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep providing for your family until it hits home. And when it hits home, then you're going to want everybody to jump on the ship with you and follow you around and say things with you and about what done happened to your people. But yet, when it happened to anybody else, you ain't got shit to say until it comes knocking at your door. And then everybody gonna turn their back on you because you had the opportunity to jump on the bandwagon right now. You got the resources, you got the time, you got the money, you got the attitude, and you got the intellectual ability to be a part of something that needs to happen here in this country today with black people. We've been sitting on our hands, sitting on that damn nail, and won't get off. We won't get off the nail because we believe we have made it here in America. We are complacent with who we are. We're satisfied with what the little crumbs we receive, the little salaries we get. A couple of millionaires over there, a couple of millionaires over there, out of 200,000, one or two of them made to be a millionaire. Oh, and that's good. That ain't shit. That's less than 1%. Less than 1/2 of 1%. Less than 1/4 of 1% for that matter. You know, the only people that done got rich here in this country are entertainers. And the entertainers got rich because they did what the white man told them to do. They made black women bitches and hoes. And they made black men punks by wearing dresses and acting like women on television. Certain men would not take a part in Hollywood to get money. But many of them have. Many of them have. Look at Wesley Snipes. He played a woman. What's the big dude name? You know who they are. I don't have to sit here and try to call them. And then most of you like Tyler Perry with that bullshit. Martin Lawrence with that bullshit. You know, I enjoy his movies as well as Tyler Perry's movies, but them playing the women role can kiss my ass. They can kiss my ass because men need to play men on TV and stop bullshitting themselves like they women. It ain't funny when you got a whole culture suffering from the shit y'all putting out on TV. Little boys don't know who the fuck they are. There was a school shooting in Des Moines, Iowa last week. Two killed. And if you own a nice vehicle, you can rest assured that it's a possibility that somebody been eyeing your vehicle to steal it. Because that's what they do in America. They steal what you got, whether it's cars, whether it's property, whether it's money. Some people want to just take what you got and don't give a damn what you think about it. Tyree Nichols was the individual who was beaten to death in Memphis by 5 black police officers. Now, what is the frame and state of mind of black men when you got 5 black men beating up another black man? What possessed them to want to do something so atrocious, so unbecoming of law enforcement? So, I mean, there is just no words for the shit that we saw on national television that these people did to that young man. Officers hitting him with their fists, kicking him with their feet, putting their knee in the neck, hitting him with a steel baton, hold him, set him up so I can hit him, breaking his arm, breaking his bones. Hit him so hard on the head that brain swole. And if he had come back around, he'd probably been brain damaged. That is just so sad that we as black men in America ain't got no more self-respect for ourselves than to treat another black man the way we do. But you know, that brings about the point of where we are in black America. Why are we always calling each other nigga? What's up, nigga? We don't take no shit from black people. We will tear down a freaking Alamo Dome to kick a black man's ass, to get to him. Just because he did some simple shit like step on your shoe. We're so quick to want to fight each other. We're so quick to want to just beat a black man to pulp because he did something that may have been slightly disrespectful or slightly an accidental disrespect to you. You want to fight him now. You'll follow him around, you'll run him off the road, want to shoot him. All of this shit over dumb shit. Over shit that we don't even own sometimes. Like, whose corner is this? You know damn well you don't own that damn corner. You just standing there selling your drugs. You gonna kill the next man coming over there trying to sell drugs to somebody else. Over a damn corner. Over some drugs that ain't even yours. We have to have a better respect for ourselves. What do we get from being part of these gangs like these 5 officers? That's a gang. That ain't no damn police force. That's a damn gang. What's the difference between them and the Crips? What's the difference between them and the Bloods? They all take an oath. They take an oath to be loyal, to be trustworthy, to go down as a group. If they going down, everybody go down. One person get in a fight, everybody get in a fight. Even in the motorcycle community. Remember what happened up in Waco a few years ago? They hid weapons in the bathroom and everywhere else. They having a damn shootout with the police. Motorcycle gun. Oh, you violated the turf. You can't pass through this state without getting approval first. Ain't that some shit? That's the culture. The police culture ain't no damn different. Out of 18,000 police forces, every one of them probably got their little special hit unit. We're going to send these boys over there, the jump out boys, over to this area because they're the ones who going to make some shit happen. They're going to make a difference over there. They're going to make sure that this shit don't ever happen again. And that's what they want to do. They want to beat a black man so bad, well, the next black man will think twice before they go and do the same damn thing. That's what they do. They beat your ass so bad so you ain't going to want to do it no more. There's no reason for the police to escalate situations like they do. In San Antonio, in my opinion, they should outlaw traffic stops. They should take the damn tag number and send their shit to mail because police have ruined their reputation with being in the face of the community. Police have ruined the reputation of being in the face of community face of the community because they cannot be trusted. You don't know whether they're going to kill you, whether they're going to arrest you, whether they're going to trump up charges on you, whether they're going to throw cocaine in your car, whether they're going to drug you. Whether, you don't know what the F they're going to do because they cannot be trusted. And it's black ones, white ones, yellow ones, red ones, all of them. All 18,000 police departments are full of shit. They need to become under federal regulation. They need to be monitored and sanctioned by the federal government. If the government won't do any damn thing to stop gun violence, take control of the police force all across this country. Have them reporting to an agency in the federal government because police forces are out of control from one end of this country to the other. You got shit happening in California. You got shit happening in Washington State. You got shit happening in Idaho. You got shit happening in Iowa. You got shit happening in Jackson, Mississippi. You got shit happening in Louisiana. You got shit everywhere in this country happening because we got overzealous police people, gang members in the police. What gives them the authority and the right and the power to be so damn arrogant and so vicious toward the people that they are sworn to protect and serve? That's a bullshit oath if I ever heard it. Because they do not follow that oath. And if they did, it wouldn't have been so many damn black people dying from the hands of the police. Just because a black man run, you got the audacity to stand there, take aim, and just fire? And then all you get is 2 years? And then you pull a gun and all a taser, but it's a damn pistol. You ain't that damn stupid that you don't know the difference between a taser and a handgun. All you get is 2 years in prison. All these light ass sentences for messed up officers. And then you want to put people in jail for 30 years for not doing anything. We need to review the patterns of practice by the police. Because the patterns of practice that they practice is unacceptable in America. We're still going to be in this war, but we at least don't have to fight the police anymore. But right now, until the federal government take over 18,000 police departments, we will be in a war with the police. We will be in a war with America. We will be in a war with the school system. We will be in a war with the employment system. We will be in a war with the economic system. We will be in a war with the housing system. We will be in a war with every system there is in this country until the federal government takes control of the police department. Because white people think that the police, they can call the police on a black man just because you're in the same area. And in many cases, that's the truth. Because if the police show up, more than likely, if they part of this clique, that good old boy clique, they're going to take you to jail whether you did anything or not. They're going to question you whether you did anything or not. You could be the most innocent one. Like this brother that I was listening to the other day up in Detroit. He had just graduated college, was on his way to work, and they pulled him over for nothing. One of those checks that I was talking about earlier. And searched him and checked and then let him go because they got another car. One of these pretext traffic stops. And they searched him, searched the car. And they digging all up in your ass, up under your balls, playing with your private area, trying to look for drugs. How can you justify another man sticking his hand in those areas, especially if that's not how you play? That ain't your cup of tea. How can you justify allowing a man to do that and hold a straight face? You're being violated when you take away these things from a black man. You can't just get that shit back. Those qualities that you have as a man and those feelings that you have about yourself just don't come back. You just suffered at the hands of a police officer. And now you're expected to be normal when you walk away from that police stop when they done beat the shit out of you and then harass you, and now they want to let you go? What kind of shit is that? They gonna let you go now when they done violated you and stuck their hand up your ass? And people standing around watching, videotaping it, putting it on Facebook and online and on every other media platform they can get it on. But you've been the one that just been violated by the police. Now you gotta come back and act like you were the same guy you were before all this shit happened with the police. You're not gonna be the same person. And until they get you, then you're not gonna understand. Until they do it to you, you're not gonna understand. You better get on the damn plan and start doing something about it. And you don't have to fight. All you have to do is put yourself in a position to help the ones who will fight, who ain't afraid to fight. Help somebody that's willing to step out there and say it and do it. Help somebody that's willing to step out and say it and do it. There's no way you should not be ready to take action on some of the things that they do to you. You should not hesitate sometimes. You should not hesitate. You hesitate too much, then you end up missing the whole show. We have to fight. We have to continue to fight. Last week we talked about the SROs, police officers in school. You know, Black History Month's on its way, right? We just had the Martin Luther King March here in San Antonio. Black History Month's on its way. But have you heard anything since the Martin Luther King March about black this, black that? They had a rally for Tyree Nichols yesterday down at the Martin Luther King Square at Houston in New Braunfels. But the word don't come out until the day of, and nobody seems to get the damn message. The message is not widespread. Why is it we, half the people don't ever hear about the shit that's going on in San Antonio? They don't hear about it because there's no media source to tell us about it. The purpose of the Black News Network is to let you know about the things that are happening here on the city that we need to know about. We need to know about this. We need to know that there was a rally yesterday for Tyree Nichols at the square on Houston and New Braunfels. I found out after the fact, like so many of us found out after the fact, that this is what went down. Why nobody else knew? Just like they don't allow you to learn your history in school, they're not allowing you to keep up with the present day's status of things in this community because they don't want you to be informed. How are you going to be informed if you don't have a media source? This media source is to keep you informed on what is happening here in our city. And it's not going to work if you don't participate. That's been our issue all along. Black History Month is a farce. We got 28 days coming up in February, and ain't shit gonna be designed to perpetuate us throughout the rest of the year. If it was, why would the Martin Luther King March have more significance than just the Martin Luther King March? After the Martin Luther King March, nobody give a shit about what the black people are doing, and black people ain't making up the damn march no way. It's Hispanics, and there are all these other organizations, and everybody going to the march to show their banner for their organization. We're gonna have to do better than just show up. We're gonna have to show out too. Just showing up ain't enough no more. We got to show out. We got to do more. The biggest event in February is the San Antonio Livestock Exposition, San Antonio Rodeo. That rodeo will receive 25 times more publicity for TV time, for radio time, for all time than anything else in San Antonio. Even though it's Black History Month, but they don't give a shit. That ain't no Black History Rodeo. That ain't the Black Rodeo. That's the San Antonio Livestock Exposition. It ain't got shit to do with the Black Rodeo. That's coming probably next week in Houston. What is it that we are doing for the month of February that's going to make February stick? It ain't going to stick. It's just Black History Month with no events. Nothing is happening in February for Black History Month. Let that sink in. They gave us Juneteenth, which nobody damn asked for. And Juneteenth was an atrocity to start with, because when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, people were still fighting in Texas for the Civil War. Let me go down my notes, because I'm going to tell you something about that. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed January 1, 1863. January 1, 1863. Now, if you're paying attention, follow along with the date time frames that I'm going to give you today. And this is a timestamp of everything that happened that has affected where Black people are right now. And everything that I'm about to give you has happened after the Civil War. Was after the Civil War, or at the end of the Civil War. January 1, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abraham Lincoln. The Civil War ended in April 1865. Now look at that. That's almost a little over 2 years before the Civil War ended in April 1865. That is the official end date of the Civil War, April 1865. So again, Emancipation Proclamation, January 1st, 1863, Civil War ending, April 1865. April 15th, 1865, 15 days after the Civil War ended, if it ended on the 1st, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. He was assassinated on April 15th, 1865. So these are the 3 dates I'm going to give you again. Emancipation Proclamation signed into law January 1, 1863. The Civil War ended April 1865, 2 years later. Lincoln assassinated April 15th, 1865. The same month Civil War ended. The same month Civil War ended. The last battle of the Civil War was fought on May 13th, 1865. A month after the war had ended in Galveston, the last battle was fought. That's how Juneteenth came about. After this last battle in May, on May 13, 1865, Civil War had already ended, but they still fought that battle in Texas because Texas tried to be a country by the damn self. On June 19, 1865, June 19, 1865, aka Juneteenth, Texas was freed in Galveston, Texas by a general who had to go there with the Union Army and force Texas to release slaves. June 19th, Juneteenth. So just run it down one more time. January 1, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation signed. Civil War ended April 1865. Lincoln assassinated April 15, 1865. Last battle of the Civil War in Texas was May 13, 1865. And June 19, Texas was finally freed when I can't think of his name, went down to Galveston and freed and forced the Texans to release the slaves. So after that, the same year, the 13th Amendment was ratified in December 1865. A lot of shit happened in 1865. A lot of shit happened in 1865. So after Juneteenth, June 19, 1865, the very next thing that happened was the 13th Amendment being ratified in December 1865. In other words, it became into law and it was executed. It was handed over to the executive department for execution of the law. After December 1865, when the 13th Amendment was ratified, nothing else happened to black people. From December 1865 till 1955. So that's 55, 65, 75, 80 years. 80 years. Nothing happened between 1865 and 1955 for black people. From 1865, we had one black person elected in Mississippi who was the only person elected for 100 years in Mississippi. He was elected like 1868 or something like that. But after that, they had nobody else elected in the Senate or the House representative for the state of Mississippi for 100 years. So for 60, 75 years, 80 years, I don't know the exact number, nothing happened. So the very next thing that happened was Emmett Till in 1955. That's when black people came back on the market as being an entity again. But Emmett Till was so brutally assassinated. Emmett Till was assassinated on August 28, 1955. Nothing happened, or no recorded history from 1865 to 1955, over 100 years. I mean, right at 100 years. So after Emmett Till, everybody's starting to get rowdy and thinking about what's going on with Black America now. The next thing that happened was Medgar Evers was trying to get people to vote. So Medgar Evers was killed 13 years later on June 12, 1963. Medgar Evers was assassinated on June 12, 1963. 13 years after Emmett Till, which means basically for 13 years, black people were trying to register people to vote, and they were getting killed for it. Not only was Medgar Evers killed, There were other people killed in between that, but Medgar Evers is the one that we significantly know. June 12, 1963 was Medgar Evers. After Medgar Evers, 2 years later, Malcolm X was assassinated in 1965, on February 21st, 1965. So Medgar Evers let me just go back. August 28, 1955, Emmett Till. June 12, 1963, Medgar Evers. February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X. So after Malcolm X, we all know what happened 3 years later on April 4th in Memphis. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. 1968. Since 1968, we got 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018, 60, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 65 years since Martin Luther King died. It has been 65 years since Martin Luther King died. And in 65 years, we have failed to muster one leader to follow. Why has it taken us 65 years, and it may take us another 65 to come up with one leader to follow? You know, Jesse Jackson tried that keep hope alive bullshit. Didn't go nowhere. A few other people tried. Didn't go nowhere. Where are we right now? Nobody can fill the shoes of Martin Luther King. Nobody. Right now, we are in need of a leader. And if you qualify, get out there and let people know who you are. And let us get behind you. And we will rally behind you and make this shit happen again. You become the target, you'll probably get assassinated too. But at least we can say we've had a leader since Martin Luther King. You know, it's okay to get elected into politics, but if you're the only one there, then you ain't making no damn difference. If you're not bringing up more and more black people into your political realm or near you or around you and help you push forward the black agenda, then you might as well sit down. Now, the gay agenda is on the move. They're bringing in gay people everywhere to push the gay agenda, and it's working. So I commend them for the work that they have put in to move their agenda forward. Despite what you may think or what you may have to say about the LGBTQ QT family, they have an agenda, and they are moving their agenda. They're moving it, and ain't nothing you can do to stop it. All you have to do is come up with a way to say that you want to be heard and that you want to be a part of what this country is headed to. Any of these people that died on our behalf could have been any one of us. Could have been any one of our ancestors. Let's take a moment to think that these people could have been us. They could have been our brother. They could have been our dad. They could have been our son. They could have been our daughter. They could have been one of us. They could have been somebody you knew. Just because you are who you are now does not mean that you were not who you were then. You do not lose your ancestry. Your ancestry moved forward with you. It's up to you to let it die, or it's up to you to keep it alive. Your ancestry dies because you don't want to recognize that this your legacy to perpetuate your ancestry. Don't allow the system to fool you into thinking that you can assimilate and forget about where you came from, because you can't. You will always be reminded where you came from. They would so much love to see you back where you came from, but you can't go there. The damage that was done is done. It cannot be changed. The trauma that you suffered has suffered, and it cannot be changed. The only thing you can do is become more powerful in pushing your ancestry forward. What you are now is what they were then. And it has moved forward unto you to perpetuate. You can't allow your ancestry to die here in 2023. Don't allow it to die. What is the major reason people attack each other right now in school? Bullying, major life changes, treatment from others. How other people treat you can cause you to go off the deep end. Interpersonal conflict, behavior threat assessment. People recognize that they have issues, but a lot of times they don't want help, and they don't want you to know that they got psychological issues. But there's not a black man alive today that don't have a psychological issue that they're dealing with. And you can't tell me no otherwise. I don't give a damn how tight your tie is, or how crisp your white shirt is, or how firm or how good your black suit fits you. You still got psychological issues because you have been damaged, and the only way you're going to get through that damage is through therapy. And if therapy should bring you to the point where you should talk about your ancestry. And that is how you get past your hang up right now, is to talk about your ancestry. To understand why you feel that way. To understand why you want to look down at the ground when you're in the vicinity of white people. To understand why you get off the sidewalk when you're in the vicinity of white people. You don't want to make them think that you're inadequate, but in many cases you are, because you don't face up to your inadequacies. You have to face up to it. You have to let yourself be who you are, and you cannot be ashamed about it. You should be unequivocally black and proud about it. Now I'm using black, but we're not black. We know that. We're not African Americans. We know that. We really are Moors. But if you don't get to the point where you know your ancestry, you're never going to understand who you are. You're going to continue to follow this white lie that you've been drilled into your head, your ancestors' head, and many other people's head, and you perpetuating the lie. And as long as you perpetuate this lie, you're going to be in La La Land. You're going to be treated like Willie Foo-Foo and Joe Sausage Head and Larry Lunchmeat and everybody else that ain't got no damn sense. And the only way you're going to change that is to get in touch with your ancestors and become who they are. You're going to have to become who your ancestors were. You know, Kunta Kinte changed his name to Toby only because he was forced to do it. He was forced to change his name to Toby. But you ain't got to be forced to do shit. You just assimilated out of control. It's almost like a drug to you to assimilate. You need to get off of that drug of assimilation because it's effing you up. Get off that drug. Don't forget, the pretext traffic stop is a traffic stop that's unheard of and uncalled for. But there's no way they should be stopping you for an air freshener hanging in your car, and there's no way they should be pulling you over for a stupid offense. We have to understand that black people are no longer going to be white-minded. Hear me what I say. We are no longer going to be white-minded. We are becoming black-minded. Black-minded is about ourselves and our culture and our characteristics and our history. We have to know our history. We have to teach our history. And we can't depend on the public school to do it. These systems are out of control. Every system in America is out of control. The education system, the political system, the House of Representatives, the Senate, everybody, the police departments, it's out of control. The economy is out of control. Everything's out of control. Everything is out of control. And the only way it gets back in control is if you start one person at a time and control yourself, control your impulses to assimilate, control your impulses to go out and be like the Joneses, control your impulses to not be who your ancestors were. Be who your ancestors were. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black City, USA, bringing you the news from a black perspective. I don't own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. And I want to say thank you. And I appreciate you. And I would love to see you go to the YouTube page, the Black News Network -BNN, and subscribe. Become a subscribe member to the Black News Network. Go to our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page. Say something. Say something. We can't all be quiet about what's happening to our people today. With that, thank you for joining me on the Black News Network. This is War Smith, the Emissary, getting ready to log off.